beginning of the meeting and we'll go from there. Do you understand that?
We please have a hearing.
All right. So what, we have a hearing. What you hearing about?
The acceptance of private streets into the township. There is an agenda right there in front of Suzanne. I thought I handed each one of you guys one.
Yeah, I have a hearing. So we have a hearing concerning acceptance of private streets. This is a procedure policy that we're going to be using, correct?
Yes.
And the reason why we're doing this is because I've had issues other places with developers who just do as they darn well please. So you all have copies of the ordinance? John? Carl?
Yes.
Michelle? Suzanne? And Larry? Okay, we have to do pledge of allegiance. Sorry about that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Public hearing. Anyone who wants to say anything or have any questions about it, you can stand. We'll take your thing, but you don't have to stand.
I hope.
All right. So why don't we just raise your right hand? No. Okay. Don't worry about that. You swear that any testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
And what's the question you have concerning?
First, his name is Earl Hoddle.
How do you spell that, please?
H-O-T-T-E-L.
Your address?
5028 Norman Avenue, Bentonville, PA.
And you have a question, concern about the ordinance?
No, not about the ordinance. So I guess I'm ahead of time.
Okay, so you have a public comment for the regular meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So not
So
about.
that'll be a different public comment period.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments about the ordinance concerning adopting streets? And this is to make everything uniform, to make sure everyone knows where they stand in terms of developments. We have some developments coming forward, so this will put them all on the same page about what they have to do and everything else. Any questions or comments?
The gentleman in the red there had asked me for a copy a couple minutes ago. I wanted to give it to him. Thank you.
Does the board have any questions or comments about the ordinance? Ms. Sager? Do you have any questions about the ordinance?
I do not.
Ms. Biden? Ms. Dupree?
I do not.
Mr. Hanford?
I do not.
Mr. Sider? Excuse me?
We're okay.
All right. So if you have no questions or concerns, then I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing for the acceptance of acceptance of private streets.
I'll second that.
Carl second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Motion to well, I guess that's
So I'm moving forward to it.
You are moving forward. So, now we are starting the regular Union Township Board of Supervisors meeting, September 24th, 2025. Do we have to do another vote?
No.
Okay. So everyone was here for the pledge? We're good. Okay.
And again, at this point in time, we have public comment. It'll be 4 minutes. Please direct your comments to the board and we'll go from there.
Hey, Bernie's here? Should be on. Yeah.
Excuse me, I have allergy issues. I would like to address the board regarding the streetlight taxes. Approximately 5 months ago, we discussed the township reviewing these accounts. To date, I have not received any updates regarding this issue. My concern stems from the conversations I've been having from residents coming in to pay their taxes regarding the increased cost of their electricity bills. Personally, my electric bill nearly doubled in the last year. I am suggesting that the township reevaluates each streetlight district individually to determine if we are collecting the appropriate amount from those homeowners that benefit from the streetlights to cover the cost of this service. My collection amounts for these districts are itemized by district and provided to the township, which will help determine if these accounts need to be revisited and adjusted to cover the costs. If there's an increase necessary, that adjustment needs to occur soon to enable the tax statements to be adjusted prior to my township download in early February. The streetlight tax only appears on the township statements, and those statements are mailed out on or around March 1st. I'd also like to address an item on the agenda. That would be under new business, item 0. First, there was a question regarding an interim statement for 2023 that was sent to Scarmazy Homes, which Scarmazy Homes is requesting why the delay. When that interim was created, according to the information that is provided from the Washington County Tax Assessment Office, the mailing address to the individual was a Bethel Park address. That is the address that appeared on the lien sheet filed with the Tax Claim Bureau and Portnoy on January 15th, 2025 for delinquencies in 2024. Even though the interim was issued in 2023, the penalty phase for payment expired in 2024, hence being on the lien list for 24. Scarmazy's address was never reflected on my documents. Portnoy made that change. I am not privy to the internal operation of the collection agency, and my estimate of what occurred was that the mail with the Bethel Park address no longer existed for this homeowner, and they made an attempt at collecting by involving Scarmazy Homes. I was also forwarded a request from Scarmazy Homes through Mr. Makel's office for a refund on 2 of their parcels. That request should have been forwarded directly to the Township Business Office to be addressed. The county has exempt these parcels, and Scarmazy Homes are requesting refunds for the payment they made regarding their 2025 Union Township taxes. The documentation that was provided to Mr. Makel's office to substantiate their request for refund. That request should have been forwarded directly to the treasurer for a refund. Any refunds requested for either Union Township or Ringgold School District must be handled through the business office of those entities. When payments are made for either Union Township or Ringgold, the funds get deposited directly into those respective general funds and not into an account held by my tax office. My tax office does not have a checking account, therefore cannot issue refunds. And speaking to a representative of Scarmazy Homes months ago by telephone, I did inform them of the process. I know that Ringgold does have a policy to handle these requests. In August of 2024, I was contacted by Scarmazy Homes regarding 12 parcels that became exempt. I was able to handle that request personally, inasmuch as those exemptions were granted prior to the Union Township real estate taxes being generated and mailed, and any payments being made. In the future, all requests need to be made directly to the treasurer for reimbursement. Is there any questions regarding the Scarmazy issue?
No, we have to talk to Portnoy about some of these issues, so that's what this is all about.
I'm just assuming, since the Bethel Park address was the initial address and then they moved here, Portnoy was reaching out to get that collected and wasn't having any success, so then they contacted Scarmazy directly.
Well, been talking with Scarmazy, the closing agent and all that, so this is just to authorize me to take the necessary steps with Portnoy and whatever, because Portnoy, as you're well aware, is, for lack of better words,
They're a debt collector.
I know they're debt collector, but they'll suck the blood out of you, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, the Pennsylvania tax law does not allow me to collect after
No,
December
no,
31st,
no, I
so
know.
it has to get outsourced, and that's a specialty for Portnoy.
Well, they jack up the fees there. That's,
Well,
when I say fees, I should have said that, but they take it.
And that's not necessarily true, because when they send out their first soft letter, you only have an additional $40 charge. If you ignore the soft letter, and they have to continuously send you letters, then you start to incur additional fees and penalties. So anybody that responds to the first letter just has a small additional fee attached to their account.
All right, thank you. Who's the next one?
Bert Vanahesky.
You recognize Part B,
I saw a lot of time cards and stuff over the time.
Just I'm gonna put out a personal thank you to Randy Stewart and Mark Stewart and Stu, they went out after my plaque was removed from the building. They went out and purchased another one. They got people in the township and other people outside the township that pitched in to try to, got me a new one. And I just want to make a personal thank you to them and the wonderful people that did that. And then they said, well, what are you going to do with it? And I said, what do you recommend? They said, don't put it back up on the building. they don't need that one taken off either. And it's the same, exactly the same thing that the first one was, because takes a couple people to pick that thing up.
Is that heavy?
Yeah, yes it is.
That's the one I bought. Same
Yeah.
one I bought you?
It's takes a couple people. So,
They're good people. The
Yeah.
town, the town's full, you know, and things like that happen. It's nice to see that this
they
town's
just
still
can't
full of good
believe
people.
that somebody would do that. That somebody would do that. You know, simple language. In my personal opinion, as far as the police are involved with this, just drop it. For some reason, the cameras don't work. You're not gonna see 2 or 3 people taking that plaque down. Why waste your time with the police? Leave it go. I don't want it back up there.
Well, once the police investigation starts, it's in their total control, so.
Well, that's fine. If anybody has authority to tell them to drop it, just drop it. Because whoever has it, I'm in a public meeting, so I'm not gonna tell them what they can do with it.
If there is any silver lining to it all, as you realize how good of friends you really have.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, like,
I
that
do
crappy
realize
thing
that.
happened,
I
that
do
you
realize
realize
that.
that
I
this,
mean,
we have good friends.
This was part of my life for 40 years, 47
Which
years.
is why we wanted to do that for you in the first place.
And, you know, I did learn over the years from a lot of these old timers when I was a little puppy to the old bastard I am now, is you don't bullshit a bullshitter. So, I just, okay, never mind with that. I don't want to get too personal, but I just wanted to say, you know, that I appreciate what they did, and it's gonna be put up on my house. I know
Who supplied, or who, I know there was
Stewart, Stu lives
You and
on
Randy?
Scott Road.
and his daughter.
His daughter lives, I think she lives in Belle Varna, but she grew up here.
So
you know.
Stu and Brandy.
Stu and Brandy, yeah. So then, you know, I mean, there's people out there you gotta appreciate. And when they did that, you know, it did really humble me, but I'm not up here to like, hey, Albert, no, this and that. It's just that there's great people out there,
You want to thank them.
and I do wanna thank them, okay? Thank you. Thanks for listening to me.
Who's next?
I don't know how to. Joe?
McKettrick?
You can pronounce it.
McKittrick? McKittrick.
Yes. Island Village. So I have 2 questions, and this is kind of on the street issue. We have 2 of our streets that aren't final paved yet. I know the township's been up looking at, you know, the streets to get them inspected and repaired and all that. But we want to understand just what the process is, because we hate to go through another winter without a final paving.
So where we at with that, TJ?
So, our office did a walkthrough inspection of the streets in phase 2. We developed a punch list. We had an initial meeting with Scarmazy Homes, explained to them the punch list. Like this gentleman mentioned, their contractor's been on site last 2 weeks, 10 days or so maybe, working on addressing some of the issues with the storm sewers and the roads. And I actually participated in another walkthrough with Scarmazy yesterday and their paving contractor. And it's my understanding that they're planning to do the final paving early to mid-October. So it will be done hopefully next month, so that it's done in this paving season. So that's the best update I can give you at this point. So the goal would be to have all those roads done so that the township can hopefully take them over before the end of this year, so there's not an issue with snow.
So I sent you some information they sent me about deed dedication.
Yeah.
Are these the roads in question?
Correct.
So we can't take them over until the proper township specs.
That's right. So the township won't accept the roads until the remaining work is completed to the satisfaction of the township.
And you're gonna check for paving, you're also check stormwater, correct?
That's correct.
That's the step, sir.
Were all the repairs that you saw yesterday satisfactory?
They have to do the final paving, obviously. There were a couple places where the base repair needed to be made, but apart from that, they will complete the punch list items, and to the township's satisfaction, to our office's satisfaction, yes.
Second question is, we were looking for whether the township has a survey of the perimeters of the whole plan, not the individual lots, but the whole plan.
I'm sure. It's gonna be on a big, if you wanna give me your contact information, then I can have Lisa or Mary Ann contact you and set up a time for reviewing some of the documentation so you can see if you want a copy of something made.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a larger plan, I forget even what the cost of that was. But it
Well-
might be digitized, because this is a newer plan. Some of the older stuff, it's been a complicated thing.
The phase 1 and the phase 2 subdivisions, which were recorded at the county, are public record at this point. So they would set forth the outer boundary like you're asking for, and they're certainly available, so.
The phase 3 hasn't been recorded.
I'm not sure what you mean by phase 3. So,
We have 3 phases.
well, I think Scarmazy refers commonly to phases 1 and 2. Phase 1 being the initial part of the plan, and the second phase, the loop around the back.
Okay.
But to my knowledge, when the township approved the subdivision for that plan of lots, it was in a phase 1 and a phase 2. There never was a phase 3 recorded, as far as I know.
Okay, all right. I'll leave my contact information.
Absolutely, just, yeah, if you could leave it by the end of the evening on the desk here.
Okay, thank you.
Get to you. Okay, Mr. Hoddle,
Yeah.
you're
So,
up. Now, you don't have to stand or anything. Just try to talk as loud as you can.
My question is, how many Puglisi relatives are associated with the township?
Well, there's Mr.
Just
Ken
one.
Puglisi. His grandson had won an advertised bid for grass cutting, but the only employee in Union Township named Puglisi is the gentleman in the yellow shirt there.
Only what?
The only employee of Union Township named Puglisi are related to is the gentleman in the yellow shirt there.
Yeah, I know Ken.
Yeah, that's the only, do you have any other relatives that work here? No, that's it. No problem. Okay. Al Stenick? His phone rang, I have to make sure mine doesn't ring.
Albert Sennick from Hidden Hollow. I live on Village Lane there. We were thinking about getting a street light at the bottom of the street. And you mentioned a couple months ago, we could be charged per unit, or how does that work?
No, I said that the current way that the streetlights are assessed here is the people that live on the streets with the streetlights pay a streetlight tax like our tax collector was just referring to.
No,
The problem is Hidden Hollow doesn't have anybody who lives on that street to assess that to.
but we wanted one, if we would want one down there, could the
I don't know how that would
area
work. What-
pay for it?
I assume, it's just never been done here before.
If I may, to get a street light, 51% of the community has to vote for a street light. And the 49 that don't want it, it's their shit on the lot.
Now, is it the whole community or the street itself?
It's whoever benefits from the street light has to be
Okay.
polled, and when 51% of them agree to have a street light.
So then you'd have to get in your Scarmazy plan that many people to petition the township to put in a
Right.
street light.
So we could write a
And those-
petition for that.
Because they're ultimately the people that are gonna pay for the maintenance and the bill for the streetlight, so they have to want it.
But do you have an estimated cost for that?
No, because usually the streetlights are put in by
You
the,
do.
Well, I don't know the cost of installation, but the people on the Boyka plan have a street light right at their entrance only, and they pay $6 a year for that street light.
The initial-
Every individual in that.
the
plan.
initial light installation is usually done by the developer. I don't know that this township's ever put in a street light for development before. I mean, it could be looked into, and it could be negotiated somehow with the HOA. It's just, don't have an answer because it hasn't been done yet. Doesn't mean it can't be done, 'cause it
Right,
hasn't
well,
been done yet.
it's a problem of people finding that road.
Yeah.
We put markers on the telephone pole, but it's ideally where the streetlight would be right on that pole, so they would not have to put a pole up if they were allowed to put one on the pole there.
I mean, we just never put one in, but it's usually the developers, other than the year that they all, came through, but it's been probably the 70s. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
you're welcome, thank you. That's all of the public comments. Announcements, executive session was held on September 5th, 2025, for, I think it was personnel matters, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, other announcement is, there's, the Alrama Park is, the playground equipment's coming right along. Suzanne made sure that there'd be some, pictures of what's going on in the progress there on the tables in the back of the room, if anyone wants to see the progress of, how's it going down there, Suzanne?
It's looking good.
I thought it looked good, I saw your pictures.
I think it's gonna be nice.
I think she did a good job.
Well, there's a lot to do yet. There's still the
Coming
mulching
along
and all
very
that.
nice.
They'll take care
Yeah,
of
but it actually looks like a park now. No. Approval of meeting minutes for August 27th, 2025. We have a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Coral made the motion. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Vacancies, we still have vacancies on the Board of Auditors, if anybody's interested. Township reports, the police officer must be busy, must be on a call or something tonight, so he's not here, but there's a police report in your folder. There is, both fire departments report, plus there's a training report from the Finleyville. It's kinda interesting. Engineer report.
Sure. Thanks, Michelle. Our office submitted our engineer's report on Friday. Hopefully it's in your board packets there. The updates are in bold. Did want to note that we did submit the 537 plan special study to the DEP, so that was the final step in the township process for that item. We'll await any final input from DEP and hopefully their approval. Items 2 and 3, I don't have much to report on. Item 4 is the MS4 bullet point. Our office has completed the annual report for the township. I brought the township's copy down with me today. It's that 5-inch binder that's sitting on the table there in front of Carl and John. So we will do the electronic submission of that extensively long PDF document to DEP prior to the end of the month to fulfill that obligation. But that takes care of all of our MS4 stormwater permit requirements for the year. So I would suggest that the township staff here file that document in the same place where last year's was filed. So hopefully you ladies can handle that. But, let's see, moving on to page 2. Our office did share the dedication area exhibit for Stonebridge with Solicitor Maple's office earlier this month, so that item's taken care of. And we have some other projects that are currently in the design phase that we're working on, but apart from that, I did want to bring up the meeting with Scarmazy Homes from yesterday just to give people an update on the paving schedule for phase 2, which we covered during public comment period. So with that, I can answer any questions that the board members or the public may have.
Now,
Excuse me, go ahead, Michelle.
I was just gonna say, as far as the MS4,
Yeah.
anyone in the public that wants to view it, participation is
Encouraged.
encouraged. If anyone wants to come down and review the MS4 plan, which is stormwater management, for those of you guys who don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Larry.
As Mr. Makel had the conversation with the zoning attorney on that issue that was raised a couple months ago,
I've not,
potential issue.
it's my understanding there was a meeting, I guess, a hearing last week or something with zoning hearing board hearing or something?
There was a
about-
zoning hearing board hearing last
And
week
with,
about what?
with Giant Eagles, was Giant Eagles part of that also?
They asked
Correct,
to,
they asked for it
they
to
asked
be
for it to,
continued.
they asked for it to be continued again.
I thought that was a different topic.
It is-
No, it's the same because where their sign's going is on that property where that, so they're working it out. So they've asked for a continuation because they're still working out with the owner of the property, their landlord.
So go back to the original question. Dennis, have you spoken to the zoning attorney?
No, I have not since the last meeting, but I understood that this is supposed to be rectified
Okay,
at the last meeting, but, at the last hearing, but I guess it wasn't, so.
that's fine.
They stated they were still working it out
I
with their
will,
landlord.
with the board, I will call Mr. Cousin this week.
That's all.
'Cause
It's either yes or no.
I will give him a call.
Okay, I have another question. Steve Road Bridge.
Yeah,
So you reached out to the contractor about that piece.
yeah.
Who will own the bridge after it's completed? Us or Peters Creek?
Well, I think that it would be discussed with the authority, but my understanding was the intention was to install that cul-de-sac right before the bridge, and then the township would vacate its right of way beyond that, with the ownership of the structure itself remaining with the authority. I thought that's what had been talked about.
That's what I
Before,
understood that we were
but-
talking
Okay,
about.
so it will be Peters Creek from maintenance to liability to whatever, since there are people using it.
If they'll take it, I don't know
I
if they've
think-
totally agreed to
I
it.
think those details still need to be worked out with the authority, and the specifics of the property that we'll need for the easement. But
Why
yes,
why don't you think Peters Creek would take them? So I'm just curious.
Because they have to, I think, dedicate ground to us for that cul-de-sac, am I correct? Like, there's a lot of different details that will have to be worked out, and then, I don't know if I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, I'm just saying they've never really said they would, but the cul-de-sac, I think at one point, Mr. Levy or somebody had said that they could consider giving us property for a cul-de-sac prior to the bridge, but it just hasn't been worked
I
out.
agree, that was mentioned in that meeting we had with them.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, because it's gonna be their people who are gonna use it, and I just assumed they would take ownership of it or give it to them or whatever the deal is.
yeah, I think the other component, Larry, we'd have to maybe give a little bit more thought to is we do have grant money for that bridge, so we probably have to talk to the grant agency and make sure that they'd be okay with the authority owning the structure, not the township.
But does the
Once it's
township
built.
really, at the end of the day, want to be responsible for that bridge? Is it be, I don't know.
I don't
That's a
know,
legal thing.
bridges are expensive.
Yeah, just give it to them or whatever the case is, but.
If they'll, you know.
I think we'd have to
I
work
think it
it
was
out.
like kicking it around, but I think Mr. Levy was kicking it around, but I don't know how the other, so many members of that authority feel, or
Yeah.
if they want it, they may want it, they may not, I don't know.
In your report, you mentioned about having a portable or a bridge.
Yeah,
Is that something that would be doable?
we're looking into the feasibility of that as an option.
Because otherwise, the cost of the bridge, for our discussion,
It's expensive.
is twice or 2.5 times more than what we calculated.
Or it could be a township. Like a village.
The issue, Dennis, as we discussed though, is that the grant application was written around a bridge that was 50 feet long, and the span between the two existing abutments is 65 feet. So that presents.
Just to clarify, you didn't write that up. You didn't make a mistake, it was pre-written up.
But your notes say that you guys have reached out to Alan.
Yeah. We have, yeah, and I need to re-engage with them about getting one that's 65 feet under that portable style,
Okay.
You have all my-
so.
And the last one, TJ,
Yep,
what was I gonna ask you? That Pleasant Stream Park,
yeah.
when's its design gonna be complete? Any idea?
Probably the next couple months, I would think.
Okay.
That's the stream, for everybody that doesn't know, that's the stream bank restoration project that the township has
And
grant
that's
money
what we
for.
got, that I gave you the documentation to before the meeting. We
Correct.
just got notification they processed that grant.
So the survey's complete, our office is designing it right now, to finish that effort.
For those grant money, you allowed to spend money on paving as part of that package?
You mean
Can we actually?
of the street itself?
Well,
Going back to
street,
the park?
parking area, and what's what restrictions or are there any on, can and some of the funds we use for paving. Jason Street could probably use paved, but I didn't know how extensive or you can even use grant money to do that.
I think we'd have to revisit that scope of work to see what the grant agency has agreed to assist with,
Okay.
cost-wise. And that's a question maybe we could ask them if they would
I'm just curious.
pay for some paving as part of that, but
Okay.
I
thank
guess
you.
I can't answer that right at this very
And
moment.
that's fine. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now, is Jason Street a township road?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought on the
Okay,
type 5
okay,
map that it's
I don't
not
know.
on there as a township road. But something to look at also.
Yeah, I saw us plow a few times over the years.
After that, after the entrance of the park becomes Mary and Terry Black's driveway. But I don't know about the ownership of the road, but after that entrance becomes Mary and Terry Black's.
But to answer your question, Larry, we should have preliminary design done in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for TJ? Zoning and code, anything you needed to, it's in your packets, any?
I don't have anything unless anybody has any questions of the report.
Okay. All the other reports are in your packet, animal control and so forth. Public Works report, Mr. Puglisi. By the way, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I do. Has anybody been over Pumpkin Center Road since it's been open?
Well, are you announcing it's open? He's announcing it's open. Pumpkin Center is open.
A good job was done and a lot of money was saved. Probably about 300 to 350. Am I close to that, TJ?
Well, the culvert, you got the two projects on Pumpkin Center Road. There's a culvert replacement and there's the slide repair. So, you know, the culvert replacement, that's a significant project there. I did look at that yesterday when I was here for the Scarmazy visit with Ken. Looks like that project turned out quite well. The slide repair component of it is, you know, the one that's further down the hill. That's a very, very expensive project to fix that, you know, by over excavating and essentially rebuilding that road. So from what Ken's explained to me, there was a surface repair down there that, you know, we'll monitor that and hopefully that will be stable for a little while and we'll see where it goes from there. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
I traveled over it on Sunday and I thought it was a very good job.
Yeah, it's been probably what, about a year and a half since the slides happened in April of last year. We got 7 inches of rain, so it's good to have both those roads back open.
A great savings for the Union Township.
Okay, Ken, your report.
Okay, I was just gonna say that Pumpkin Center Road, the culvert's done, except for the asphalt, which we're gonna get done by the end of the month. Pumpkin Center Road's open, and we started the airport, road curb project on the Rankin Town side. But the rain's holding us up right now, but we needed the rain, so I'm not really bad about it. That's about it.
Okay. Any questions for Ken? Okay, new business. Discussion and motion to purchase the Pro XA post driver with accessories. It's raining on me. It's raining on me. I'm like, I thought, sorry, I seem a little distracted, but like, I was wondering if I spilled something, but
Yeah, we shut these lights off,
yeah, that thing's filling up with water in there. It's starting to spill out on top of me.
we shut that light.
So, last,
It's Albert's fault.
no, last year, Ken,
Thank you. I'll take the wrap. Oh,
last
that's
year,
better.
Well, you probably remember this, Albert, but remember when the leaves got clogged into the roof drain?
Yeah, that's all
And it was
right.
on that side?
Right there, right
If you
behind.
could send them up tomorrow to double
Yeah,
check
we will.
the,
We'll get it in the morning.
okay. I hope that doesn't fall on me when it fills up. Okay.
Will this short out the water inside there or not?
No.
It's a handy, it's just gonna put it in circuit, but it's still not gonna stop the water from dripping.
I'm just worried about the weight maybe making this ceiling top fall.
So put it back on there.
Unless you need it on.
No, I don't need it on. I don't want the checks to get wet though, so here. So post hole driver with the accessories, we double checked the price. I think George Powell had found one or whatever that was a little bit cheaper, but we found that this one, including the accessories, appears to be the cheaper model because it comes with all of the accessories in the end. So, is there any motion to purchase this post driver with the accessories in the amount of $5,069.10? Oh, wait, I have to make a motion to take it off the table. I didn't. Sorry, all the commotion. So I'm making a motion to take that off the table. Any second to the motion to take it off the table?
Second.
Carl, second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone want to make a motion to purchase this post driver for putting in street signs with the accessories?
I'll make that motion.
So Carl made the motion. Any second on Carl's motion?
I'll second.
John second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion to adopt the business license ordinance. We voted to advertise this last month. It's been duly advertised and out for public review. Anything else we want to say about the business license ordinance?
Just keep breaking, just to make sure you know who's doing business in your town.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do we do any identifying marks on a piece of equipment that we buy?
Are you saying like basically?
Oh, we're back to the other motion. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Sorry,
talking business
I
license
thought
ordinance
about
and I'm
it,
like,
but I,
what?
like, own property of Union Township, whatever.
Kenny?
You're talking about industrial.
On the bigger stuff we do, and on the smaller stuff, we write on it with a paint pen.
Someplace what they do, they have some type of that computer. I guess,
Etch it.
And
They
they,
etch it.
and they put that on all the different things.
But we do that, Kenny?
We can, we haven't, but we can.
You're saying we do it on the bigger stuff, and then you just said that we do
No,
the
the
smaller
bigger
stuff
stuff,
with
we
a
put
pen.
a sticker on.
Okay, and on the smaller stuff, you said something about a paint pen?
We write Union Township on it with a paint pen. But if you want us to log on serial numbers, we can do it.
Maybe major piece of equipment. I just was curious what the process was here. And whether we even,
Well,
we used to spray paint all sorts of tools in business I came from because stuff was paramount. And, just curious what we did, that's all.
Well, you raise a good issue because I know for a lot of municipalities, they conduct what they call an industrial appraisal each year, basically saying
Exactly.
what equipment they have, because I had a situation years ago where a township basically had a fire, burnt the garage down, and they had no record of the equipment that they had inside of that garage. So we should have a listing for purposes of insurance saying what we have in case something does happen like that.
We basically just did that.
We have that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so we're back to the business license ordinance. Today's my deceased dad's birthday, and I swear this whole thing's a prank by him or something. Okay, so back to the business license ordinance. I make a motion to adopt the business license ordinance. Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for the ordinance for adopting private streets that we just had the hearing on. Any motion to adopt that ordinance?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Suzanne made the motion, Carl second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This was a motion to approve the purchase of an asphalt drag box. This was a discussion item at the last meeting, and there was pricing for both a 6-foot and an 8-foot, I recall.
8 and a 9.
8 and a 9, okay. And you had gotten us prices on both sizes, but you actually were preferring the 8, the
Yeah,
smaller?
the 8.
Did everyone get a chance to review that since the last meeting?
Paving season's over, pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Can we table this till we go through the budget hearing?
That would be all right. I mean, because I'm not gonna use it until
Right.
next.
Okay, rather than
April.
making a motion to table it, let's just lose it for lack of interest, or it doesn't have to stay on the agenda for the next 6 months, we'll revisit it. We just won't make any motion towards it.
Okay,
So then it'll fail for lack of,
that's fine.
then I'll have to keep it on my agenda for 8 months.
So you asked for a first, second is done, so
Yep,
it's done.
it's done. Okay, reapproval of the Burnsworth subdivision and land development plan application as requested by PCSA. This is the property that we're purchasing for the lift station for Peters Creek Sanitary, and then they will ultimately own that property with the lift station. Okay. Any questions you guys have for
Can
it?
we pay them?
It's actually on the bill pay.
Okay.
It's the ARPA money that you're approving today is the 20,000 for the Burnsworth property. So, I make a motion to reapprove the Burnsworth subdivision
Yep, as presented.
as presented.
Second.
Carl, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Garage door repair for $3,908 for the police bay garage door. So, what I was told by Rocky Henson, the officer Henson, is that he hit it a few years back and then he did a repair to the township and it got like a temporary fix to it, but now they can't open it or shut it because that temporary fix after so many years has now failed, so they cannot open the police
Falling
bay.
apart. It's
The
falling
panels are
apart.
coming out at the end. So that's what this is about. It was an officer that had hit it a few years back.
It's just to replace the entire door?
No, it's a repair. Ken, am I correct from what I saw on the
It's a
bill?
repair.
It's a repair. It's panels at the lower part. Repair. So, any motion for the repair of the,
I'll make the motion to repair it.
okay. Larry made the motion. Any second?
I'll second.
Suzanne second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to make a $500 payment/donation to the Finleyville Volunteer Fire Department for the township's use of their fire hall for the last 3 hearings. So, I talked to Jeff Lawrence, we hadn't really, so he said they normally rent it out for $200 a time, but he's like, I'm not gonna, the fire hall's not gonna charge the township full price. So, I mean, it could be this, it could be whatever, but, so that's where I had come up with that number from, is 500 for the last 3 times we used. That's in total, not $500 a time.
I'll make the motion, Michelle.
Okay, Larry made the motion,
Second.
Carl second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now we have a motion to approve a resolution to recognize Eagle Scout Corbin Lau Andrews. So it's a long one. Anyone want to read this? Because I'm in the dark over
It's
here.
about H, by the way.
Did I forget H?
I know it started.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm in the dark back here. So going back from Lau.
Okay, we-
I don't want liability, you get shot.
I
The
have-
no,
I have insurance.
H is the noise ordinance. It was previously tabled. Is there any motion to take it off the table? Okay, stays on the table. Now we're back to Corbin Lau Andrews. Since you're a better talker than me. So we have a new Eagle Scout to recognize in Union Township. And his name is Corbin Lau Andrews.
You're the chairman, you can read it.
Okay. Whereas the Board of Supervisors has been advised by the Scouts and leaders of Boy Scout Troop 1542 that Corbin Lau Andrews has completed the requirements for having been examined by the Eagle Scout Board of Review. And whereas Boy Scout Troop 1542 intends to designate the rank of Eagle Scout to Corbin Lau Andrews. Whereas Corbin Lau Andrews committed approximately 360 hours to renovate the meeting hall at the First Presbyterian Church in Finleyville, which consists of the replacement of old fluorescent lights with new LED lights, painting the walls, waxing the floors, and replacing the baseboards. Whereas the Board of Supervisors wishes to commemorate the community activities of Corbin Lau Andrews in providing this community service to the First Presbyterian Church and providing an example to other young people in the Union Township area. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Union Township that the Board of Supervisors is highly thankful and appreciative of the efforts of Corbin Lau Andrews in providing 360 hours of community service to the First Presbyterian Church and for being an example to other youth in Union Township area. The Board of Supervisors also honors Corbin Lau Andrews for becoming an Eagle Scout, and a copy of this resolution will be placed in the Union Township meeting book. It resolved, enacted, and adopted at a regular board meeting of supervisors held on the 24th day of September 2025. Okay, I got it all out. All right.
I'll
So
make that motion.
Carl Hanford makes the motion for that resolution. Any second?
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. J, it has been requested by TJ to leave that on the table a little bit longer. K, motion to authorize the township engineer to review the closed Alrama ash disposal site project under the Act 2. So that's in your packets. We don't even know exactly what they're doing, but we were notified under the Act 2 there's a change in the land use or whatever. So this is a motion to authorize TJ to look into that.
Aren't they gonna control the runoff using a piping system?
Say it again.
Aren't they making an attempt to control the runoff with a piping system?
Yeah, they received a grading permit for the installation of additional drains.
Trying to direct it into one spot.
Correct.
And that was all under the initial project, right? So now they're doing some sort of
Yeah.
change to that. Well, we
Yeah.
don't know what
Duquesne
that-
Light owns the property, right?
Yes.
So I can reach out to Tammy, and I have a contact that we worked with for this grading permit, so I can reach out to them and try to get some additional information.
So I make the motion to authorize the township engineer to review the
Second that.
project. Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve a waiver for the Mineral Beach development as to the timeline for subdivision approval. So, do you want to explain what this is?
Suppose, there's a.
Under our saldo.
Under your sellers, it was 6 months, I believe, that they have to do something.
Yep.
We're beyond the 6 months, however, we're still working out the different issues between the township and the developer, so this is a motion to grant a waiver to that 6 month time period, but another 6 months.
Or their,
I mean,
it's what happens is their approvals expire.
Okay,
So,
another thing you brought up a few months ago, did they ever do that traffic study?
yes,
What was the
They
outcome?
did it, PennDOT didn't do it, right?
they did.
CEC did the traffic study, am I
Yeah,
correct?
the professional engineering firm that they hired.
CEC did that
the
traffic study.
traffic study was prepared and submitted to PennDOT for their review and comment as part of the HOP process.
And we heard back from PennDOT?
To my knowledge, they've not been issued their HOP to this point, so I don't believe that process is completed.
So this would be extending the time limit for their permits so they don't expire.
Right.
Let me ask you this question, TJ, again, refresh my recollection. Who was the applicant for the HOP?
Developer. It was prepared by his consulting engineer.
Township's not the applicant then?
KDH prepared the application and it was submitted by the developer. Township's not the applicant, to my knowledge.
Okay. So what I have.
We asked that question. That's not the typical process.
I spent 2.5 hours drafting an HOP agreement between between the township representative and the developer for the HOP for PennDOT.
For this project
More
specifically?
extensive, you think?
It's not. It's 200 EDU development. But I had,
Reminds me of the
And
traffic
it's
study
normal
for
that the
Tuscan.
township's the applicant paid for by the developer.
I'm just okay. If they accept, they accept it.
I mean, Dennis is right. Normally, the township submits the application, and the costs for it are reimbursed to the township by the developer. That's generally the procedure. for
You know, all the
submitting it.
engineering costs, the legal costs, and everything. And usually,
You may
The
find out
state-
they never submitted it.
I don't know, because usually PennDOT requires the municipality to be out. I could be wrong.
How do we verify that it is being reviewed by PennDOT? Is
So
it a phone
they
call?
have the whole division, they have 3 or 4 good people that used to handle the permitting for HOPs, but we can call and check into that, so. Does he need help getting to the
No,
car?
that's fine. No, Rich. Rich.
Okay.
Good night, Mr. Hoddle.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good luck. Good night. All right, so it's an issue. I know people. I'll see if I can find something else.
So the township, like Michelle and Dennis explained, the township approved this in April, and they have 6 months to begin construction, so they're approaching that. I reached out to them, the developer and their engineer yesterday, and did not receive any response,
Okay.
just so you know.
But tonight's motion would not give them any additional approvals, just an extension on time on the approvals they've already received.
Correct.
We could grant them 90 days or 6 months.
Either 90 days or 6.
Six.
6 months. That way, in case the holidays are coming. So,
They won't be ready.
all right. 6 months. Is that your motion, Mr. Spear?
Absolutely.
Larry made the motion. Seconds?
I'll second.
Which one second? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, set time and date for trick or treat. The Borough of Finleyville does 6 to 8 in checking with Jeff Lawrence. So I'm gonna make a motion to set the time for trick or treat to be from 6 to 8 on October 31st.
Second.
Larry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the township engineer to review the revision application for the land use changes to the Boca Coal existing surface mine on Cardox Road as it pertains to Union Township. The end part is because it somewhat pertains to South Park Township too, it's not all on us. But that was another Act 2, which is a brownfield mine reclamation site that is being considered for a use change, and under that act, the township gets notified. So, I make a motion to authorize TJ to review the revision application for the Boca Coal land use changes to the existing surface mine on Cardox Road.
Second.
Carl, second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? I didn't hear everybody, so I wasn't sure it was aye.
Michelle, can I ask a question about that before I move
Okay.
on?
Okay.
Did the township actually, did we receive a copy of the application? If so, can you forward it to me?
We didn't, and that's the problem. I would have, so it's kind of, I put in the Dropbox thing exactly what we got, which was a letter with a 30-day,
Yeah, that's
and
good.
it ends on October. That's all we got.
Okay.
So that's what I had said, like, I don't even know how we make a comment on this. We don't know what they're doing or nothing to comment on. So then it was down to making a motion to authorize you to check into getting
Okay.
us the information.
And I see this needs to take place by October 1st, 2025.
Yeah.
What,
Get
the
on it.
look into it, or come up with
They
an
asked
answer?
us, they gave a period for public like for the township's comment on their choose to reuse this in a different way than they originally were permitted for. But we can't comment because we have no idea what the ideas of what they're going to do with it.
Well, what do we have to do by October 1st?
Make that comment.
Okay.
But then it goes down to him contacting who would that be through, the DEP?
Well, the first thing I'll do is reach out to this Tracy Norbert who wrote this letter and ask for a copy of the application. Once I get it, I'll send it to you folks.
What's the date on the letter?
August 19th.
So the letter came to us August 19th?
And then was, yes, I sent it to.
That's the date of the letter.
The date of the letter.
It might maybe mailed, might be a week late.
But it went in everyone's emails.
You get a letter in a week up in Anchorage,
It went-
Alaska. Dennis, for
It went in everyone's emails.
Okay, stories. All right.
When I sent it to you about a few weeks back. Yeah. So, but we just have been having trouble finding out what.
Early September is when I first saw this letter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Yeah,
He's waiting on a permit up there.
yeah.
He's waiting on a refuse
Early September.
repurposing permit.
Okay,
Mhm.
that vote completed, yeah. It's complete, right? It was me and,
I don't know if everybody.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to authorize solicitor review tax issue request from the Scarmazy Homes and advise the township on the appropriate actions. That was, somewhat what our tax collector was.
Correct, there's some issues with the taxes I have to take care of.
Okay, so, I make that motion.
Second.
Larry seconds. Any other, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, no, it's a long one. Motion to make corrections in the minute book, which we talked about at the last, maybe 2 meetings ago.
I'll make the motion, Michelle.
All right, it's a long one. I have to say all this apparently in the motion that in the office.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
That's okay, that's okay. Back in April, I came down to review the minute book and found that there was no entries were made for this year. I made an appointment with the staff for the second week of May due to PSAT's conference, put the minutes into the book. But whenever I came, the staff preemptively put the minutes in the book with copied or unsigned minutes. I also at that point noticed that they had missed 2 meetings in the book. Signatures were copied, not originals. And at that point, I made Mr. Mako aware and asked to get legal advice on how to add those 2 meetings that were missing into the book after the fact. Then when me and Suzanne came down to review the next week, we saw that those minutes were actually now in the book, but pages had been taken out and other pages added and renumbered. And so in the July meeting, this board voted for a legal review of the minute book, and the following items need to be corrected. Here goes the long motion. I actually shortened it from yours. Okay. The following pages need to be signed by the chair and the secretary and dated with the date of today's motion. The pages are as following: 2651, 2660, 2661, 2665, 2668, 2673, 2676, 2680, 2685, 2688, 2691, 2695, 2698, 2703, 2707, 2711, 2714, 2719, 2720, 2722. Also, page 2710 needs placed in annotation that that page, that page 2709 is now missing, and the pages are now misnumbered. Page 2710A needs placed in annotation that that page is numbered wrong and the A shouldn't exist on there. Page 2303 through 2500 needs an annotation on each page that these pages were not used and need to be dated and signed by the secretary as of today's date of this motion.
And that has to be put in the minutes,
I kept that for your minutes.
in the minutes today.
Thank you.
For future reference, okay?
So, the pages that so each one of those pages will need to be signed by
And
the
do it in
secretary,
blue.
the chair, and dated with blue ink. And, the pages that have been duplicated or renumbered or stickers put on everything, all those different pages. The duplicate pages need to be marked. Right. And then each page of those blank ones that were skipped in the book, that were left blank, need to be annotated. And, yeah.
I tabbed each page, by the way. Done.
Oh, I thought something was clicking. It's the water's coming through. Yeah, it's falling on my paperwork. I'm like, what is that noise? Okay. Okay, so I make that motion. Yeah, it's raining in here. It's coming from different spots. That's kind of the problem. It's coming all around that thing.
He got you a solution there.
Good thing you agree.
It's
Okay,
coming
so
on the perimeter of the light there.
yeah, it's changing places on me.
We've got to speed
Okay, so
up.
I made that motion. Any second?
Second. Carl got it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Authorize township engineer to meet with a resident over stormwater complaint on Finleyville Alrima Road. I make that motion. Any second? Any second on that motion?
Second.
Okay. So we have a second on that motion. Any questions about that motion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion items. Arima storage building. So how's that plan going? I've lost my pen through. Oh, there it is. How's that going? You guys think you're gonna be ready for?
I believe that we can do it with the program that we have,
Okay.
just like Overlook. There's no need for us to buy another program to run.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's a revolving. It's over here too. It's coming out all around that light now.
Maybe we should authorize having someone inspect the roof.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's drains up there in that rubber roof, and last year it was on that side, and leaves got clogged in the drain and had to be cleaned out, and then it just emptied the belly and stopped doing it.
Each one of the programs that Peters Creek uses and Louisa use is in excess of $8 grand.
Can you
That's
conduct it with the
Here,
assistant?
that's not the
Can
official.
you
That's what she
actually
said. She can-
perform the task with the software we have?
Yes. Same as what we do with the Overlook.
And you feel that you'll be ready to go in January 1st?
Yeah.
Find out if she
gets her urges.
Who's gonna do that, Michelle?
Well, hopefully we'll have more staff by then.
Pardon?
Hopefully we'll have more staff by then.
We only have 2 part-time people,
Yeah.
that's why I asked.
So, you'll have another update next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Then, B, inspection of grinder pumps owned by the township in the Overlook system. So, we had a major water leak in someone's, property this last month. And in going over to inspect, because some reason that homeowner felt it had something to do with our sewer line, which also, now it's pouring.
Oh, yeah.
She felt that it might have something to do with our sewer lines there, which it did not, but in checking, he noticed that it will look like an adult-sized diaper in their grinder pump. So, that being said, we have to come up with a maintenance plan on these grinder pumps that we own over there in the Overlook system. And Ken?
We can do it, but I need to have, I have a hepatitis shot, and, Dave has a hepatitis shot, so there's 2 of us. I've got 2 guys that do not have hepatitis shots, and they cannot work on these.
No, but you have the ability to. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a licensed plumber and stuff. You have that.
Right.
It just would be a huge cost savings for the road crew to go over and inspect those grinder pumps versus hiring a company to come in, which is what we were possibly looking at before. I'm afraid that old tile's gonna fall on me.
Who pays any replacement cost?
We do.
There's
own
one,
them.
there's one pump up there, we should have another one. We
He's
should
saying we
have
should
2.
buy, but there hasn't, we own them. If they break, we replace them.
What does a grinder pump normally cost?
Thousands.
3,000 or 4,000?
Probably more than that,
More than that now?
Way more than that.
5 or 6?
more like 8 or 10.
Yeah.
8, 9.
Can I ask a question?
That's all hard, like the soft cost then in replacing it.
Does the township have a maintenance contract with the grinder pump suppliers?
No.
Did. Yeah, I never checked. He did
You
it
do
one
not.
time.
Sometimes depending on
He
the
did it one
installation.
time.
They had a warranty at one time. They had a grinder pump go down with a
We
cow or
were up there
something.
looking with Rick Lawson.
They were still under warranty. They replaced one under warranty with something about a towel or something up in there.
Maybe we need to do a little research on the whole
We did,
situation.
we got all the maintenance, you checked into the maintenance contract a year ago.
I asked the question a little while back. I don't know if you guys have one on record or not.
You don't have the answers for your questions, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, we were asked a little while ago to look into
Right,
the
I
billing,
remember.
and, you know, still waiting for some information on that, but I think they're Environment 1 pumps, right? They're E1 grinder pumps. Typically, oftentimes E1, they have maintenance contracts. They're known for their maintenance of their product, so, I just didn't know if that was
We
applicable.
would have got a
this
bill for that maintenance contract in the last few
year.
years.
You probably would have, yeah.
Yeah, so there is no maintenance contract because we've not got a bill for a maintenance contract.
Okay.
It's-
That's because you didn't do any work? We didn't have any people.
Well, usually like the Cummings contract for the generator, there's a yearly fee for the maintenance
Yeah,
contract.
but doesn't somebody have to contact the people that do the
No, if you have
maintenance?
one, they send a renewal document every year.
I don't know.
How old is the pump?
2020?
Shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, grinder pumps are fake too.
Anyway, does the board have any problem with Ken going and inspecting them? To see if we need maintenance on them, to see if we need repairs on them? Do the inspection.
Will we get a report,
Ken,
Yes,
will we get a
some
report?
details, Kenny?
as much as you can write up on a grinder pump.
Yeah, I understand that. Been around
Basically,
them
what you're
before.
checking is for anything down in there and making sure that it does come on when it's supposed to.
Right.
Make sure it shuts off, make sure the backflow's working, and I think the first time it went there was a wish rag.
You been down by chance with Lawson when it went down?
Huh?
Were you- When Lawson went down there a couple of years ago, were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
I think Albert said he was there. Pardon? Albert said he was there. Albert?
We just was being taught, it was me, Ron, and Frank, was being taught what we had to do if we had to go in there.
So then we were maintaining them.
Maintenance.
Change it.
He was being taught, but we were maintaining them. The company wasn't maintaining
Yeah, I
them, the
agree.
township was.
They actually did have a company that would come in and do that. So I think they had to do that one time, many years ago. Well, not many, but a few.
I remember one needed to be replaced, something about a towel or something in it. And it was under, the system was under warranty with Mc.
Those on the left going down the hill,
Yeah.
they're houses, they're up there.
But if
For
they
some
were
reason,
teaching
they
you
didn't
how to
connect those
maintain
two or
them, then
three
we didn't
houses
have a
to the
maintenance
main sewer line like you did the other ones.
In either case, we had a major water break at somebody's house, which flooded into their yard, and, he went up there to check to make sure nothing, affected that
I
grinder
understand.
pump, and that's when he noticed what looks like something might be down in there, and I said, well, we probably should check all of them to make sure if it's been a couple of years, have someone take a look. So you'll, if we
We'll
vote
do
on,
it.
okay,
We'll do it.
all right. Give us a report on whether or not we need that. And maybe even look into, that company that I gave, TJ the paperwork
I'm gonna call them
on.
and see if they have a
Maybe
maintenance.
a maintenance program, get us the pricing of a maintenance program. I got him all the information of the manufacturer and stuff.
Are they all
a few
the
months
same
back.
type of grinder pump, the same size and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good pumps.
Yeah,
They're not,
TJ said we were kinda lucky, they're good pumps. And there's one extra one in case of a failure, but there's only one extra one.
Environment 1 is a good product. It's a good pump.
Okay. Agricultural Security Area 7-year review. I saw the email that you had sent, TJ, about,
Yeah.
so could you tell them what,
Well, I think we got this letter, September 2nd from the County Planning Commission about the expiring agricultural security area, and just, I don't know a whole lot about these, to be honest with you, so, I just figured it'd be a good thing to talk about.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was his office that sent
Oh.
an email about.
No, it just, the ag security law started probably back 80s or 90s. It basically is protect farmers in terms of property. And in the old days, the old timers would say just lay it on the table because it just gets reapproved. I don't think you need to spend any money doing anything because I don't recall anybody asking me to be part of the ag security situation. So from my perspective, the most cost efficient thing to do is to do nothing, let it lay on the table, and it gets reapproved and for another 7 years. Okay? I don't think any action is needed at this point in time.
Unless somebody would come and want to
What-
add their property
What
to the ag.
they'll do is they'll contact the Washington County Planning Commission, I can't remember what they have to, and then she'll contact normally me, and then we have to go through a procedure to have her added to that ag security situation. Okay? I just say don't do anything with it, lay it on the table.
Okay. Washington County and statewide local share account grant applications. No one's definitely.
Yeah, so we talked about this last meeting. I passed out the information on the statewide program. The countywide program is also open now too. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at what I handed out last month and brainstorm if there's any projects that we want to put forward a grant application for this year. The county's program will accept applications until the end of October. The statewide program will accept applications through the end of November. Last year, we submitted a handful of applications to both. So just bringing this up once again as a grant opportunity. So. Well, it's a.
Excuse me? Just take it up.
Generally, anything that's considered in the public interest can be put forward as an application. So other townships ask for grants for equipment, they ask for projects for stormwater, MS4, street improvements, if you have sanitary improvements down in El Rima, basically anything can qualify as an eligible project. So I think it's important to brainstorm a list and decide what applications, if any, you want to apply for this year. Last year we applied for the stream bank restoration project that got funded through DEP. I think we had an application for demolition of the buildings at the Nike site that did not get funded at this point. We had a couple other applications too. We certainly can reapply. Stone improvements at Stonebridge have been talked about as a possible project to apply for grant money for. So I'm looking for a little input from the board if there's anything that we want to pursue in terms of trying to get funding. These programs are 100% grant, so no local match required.
When's the deadline? October 31st?
End of October for the county. The state is end of November.
And you need about how much time to?
Well, we need to get resolutions approved to make the application, so that would have to happen at the October meeting. We need a couple weeks to put together a scope of work and a cost estimate.
Does that give you enough time?
Well, I think with some it doesn't necessarily have to be tonight, but with some direction between this meeting and next meeting, we can start working on applications, get the estimates done, and be ready to approve resolutions and submit by the end of next month. So it's a good opportunity. A lot of communities in Washington County apply to Washington County LSA. The statewide one obviously is a statewide program.
How much detail do you have to provide, TJ, to the granting?
You have to provide a project description, scope of work, cost estimate. evidence that you own the property, so forth. So,
All right. The next item, we're just gonna leave there, we don't have a solid answer on that. So, approval of bills. I'm gonna make a motion to approve A through F on approval of bills.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, well, you'll be the second. Michelle made the motion, Carl second. All in favor on the approval of bills A through F?